Damn it. What's up, you fucking hookers? Woo, bro. Video number 3 has got me, bro. Video number 3, bro. I don't know. It's been like a day or two, but I got to tell you guys. UCC video 3, part 3 has changed everything. I mean, we've stopped and we paused everything with the new client. We started everything up again, and then now we paused it again. I mean, dude, when I show you guys what we're about to do, like, dude, you have no idea. Like, these institutions and shit, and like the people we're going to be suing, like they do not stand a chance in all hell. I'm not gonna say anything because I want you guys to see it, not just hear it. But you literally have no idea. Like, dude, the SBA started coming after me for the COVID. I'm gonna take this off; it's too hot. For the COVID thing, the COVID loans. And I said, oh, dude, totally. I said, oh, I'm super excited. If you guys could just give me an address, I got to serve some summons for a lawsuit. Would love to send that to you. And they didn't even respond. They just sent me straight to collections. So I'm thrilled. They're going to get hit with this new system. Oh, God, they're just going to, you have no idea. It's not even... It's like getting hit with a train that is just packed with C4 all on the front, and the whole train just explodes when it hits you at like 120 miles an hour. I can't wait. God. I was losing sleep recently, past several days, because I'm just laying there like so fucking excited, bro, about just fucking this shit up. So good. You have no idea. We are in some seriously exciting times, my friends. Anyways, welcome. Welcome. We have a long part to go through today. I'm not sure if I'll get through all these. We'll see. This is UCC 3. UCC Article 3, Part 4. Possibly 4.1 or 4.5 or 4/4-1 or something. We'll see. Let's just get rolling on this and kind of see where things go. Okay. 3-401 signature. We've got a person is not liable on it. Oh, actually, I wanted to show you guys something. I got some stuff that I don't think you guys have ever seen. Stuff that I never talked about, stuff that I've never announced. I've never talked about it on any shows. I've never talked about it anywhere. If you go to www.williamsandwilliamslawfirm.com, you go to the About page and you scroll down to my About section. I want to let you guys know that I have a state case that I legally changed my name from Brandon Joe Williams, all caps, to upper and lowercase. Link to that case so you can get more information on it is here. And then I also wanted to show you guys here that I put my trade name, my USPTO information's here in case you guys are looking at trademarking your name. You can get a lot of info from my page. This is the full USPTO breakdown of everything. And you can click these breakdowns and you can see all the different things that I did in my case, right? That's not my address currently, and don't call me, by the way, or email me. And if you do, you're going to get blocked, just to let you know. And yeah, so go through here and you can see all the good stuff here. And then I also, when I finished video 3, I literally did not go to bed that night until I had completed filling out my first UCC 3. or I'm sorry, UCC 1, and you guys are going to laugh your ass off when you read some of this. It's not entirely correct. Like, I'm probably going to do some corrections on this. I just literally would not let myself sleep that night until I had filed my UCC 1. So you guys can go through here and take a look and kind of get a good laugh out of this. You might find it interesting. And I wanted to show you guys those 3 links in the About page on W&W. And, okay, good. So let's get back to this. Let's get rolling on this. I don't want to be here all night. So part 4, 3-4XX. Signature. A person is not liable on an instrument unless 1, the person signed the instrument, or 2, the person is represented by an agent or representative who signed the instrument and the signature is binding on the represented person. This is an interesting conversation for the all caps name because you're actually signing on behalf of the all caps name. So the person is represented by an agent or representative who signed the instrument and the signature is binding on the represented person. That's pretty much what you're always doing. You're never really the person who's signed the instrument. You're the person who is represented by an agent who signed the instrument. Just to be clear. Okay? A signature may be made manually or by means of a device or machine, and 2, by the use of any name, including a trade or assumed name, or by a word, mark, or symbol executed or adopted by a person with present intention to authenticate a writing. Interesting. So it's almost like the definition of the word signature. It's actually a beautiful definition. I'm not here to poo-poo on the UCC. I actually think this stuff is incredible. I think that this is actually really cool. Manually by means of a device or a machine, and by use of any name, including a trade or assumed name, or by a word, mark, or symbol executed or adopted by a person with present intention to authenticate a writing. So if you do some horse shit, symbol that represents and you think you're all freaking cool. Look how cool I am with my loop-de-loop L and my loop-de-loop whatever. Like, look how cool my signature is. I have the coolest signature ever. And you have like one of them high-end signature fountain pens, and you go in there, you're like, check out how cool I am, bro, with my sweet signature, bro. Well, you're getting fucked and you're retarded. It's okay. We're all here to learn. That's this one. Signature by representative. Ooh, 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 ooh. How do they say it in the ooh, ooh, the fucking I want to say hentai, but it's not. It's what is it? Anime. Ooh, or whatever, like the fucking memes with the girls. Ooh. So, all right. Signature by representative. What is this? If a person acting or purporting to act as representative signs an instrument by signing either the name of the represented person. Now remember, represented person basically means beneficiary. Remember? Remember they say represented person and fiduciary? Those are the 2 terms they use. Remember that? You can click on this and find it. It's not in this. It's in an actual section. Represented person. Where is it at? Represented. Well, it's not even here. We saw it earlier. It's in that area, breach of fiduciary duties. You should remember. I remember. Breach. Where is it at? Notice of breach of fiduciary duties, 3-307. Remember this? We got fiduciary and we got represented person. Fiduciary means an agent, trustee, partner, corporate officer, or director, or other representative owing a fiduciary duty with respect to an instrument. And then we have represented person, means the principal, beneficiary, partnership, corporation. So it means a little bit more than that, but for the simplicity of this, we've got basically trustee and beneficiary, pretty much. Not entirely, but I'm trying to keep this simple, right? So by signing the name of the represented person or the name of the signer, the represented person is bound by the signature to the same extent the represented person would be bound to the signature were on a simple contract. If the represented person is bound, the signature of the representative is the authorized signature of the represented person. And the represented person is liable on the instrument whether or not identified in the instrument. So what they're saying here is you don't know there's two parties, all caps name and you as the natural person, and we're going to get you to sign on behalf of the all caps name, and then you're on the hook just as much as the all caps name is, essentially. If a representative signs the name of the representative to an instrument and the signature is an authorized signature of the represented person, the following rules apply. If the form of the signature shows unambiguously that the signature is made on behalf of the represented person who's identified in the instrument, the representative is not... Wait. Oh, what do we have here? If a representative signs the name of the representative to an instrument and the signature is an authorized signature of the represented person, the following rules apply. If the form of the signature shows unambiguously that the signature is made on behalf of the represented person who is identified in the instrument, the representative is not liable on the instrument. Oh, god damn. Wait a second. If the form of the signature shows unambiguously that the signature is made on behalf of the represented person who is identified in the instrument, the representative is not liable on the instrument. Form of the signature shows... Huh. I'm not totally sure on this. I have seen things where you have something like, I've written this before many times, like especially with the DMV, because I hate the DMV. You have by, and then you have Brandon Joe Williams, agent, and then hit enter and go one line below, but I can't do that here. I'm just doing this to show you. And then the next line below, not to the right, but below, but I can't do that here because if I hit enter, it's going to go to a URL. And then you have Brandon Joe Williams principal. So that's stating clearly that there's a someone signing on behalf of someone else. I do that sometimes, for sure. So keep that in mind. You can always do that as well. These are all endorsements. This is all endorsement technology. Everything we're learning is endorsement technology. And what is endorsement technology? It's the technology of performance. And what is performance? Payment. It's the technology of payment. We are learning a technology. What is the definition of technology? It's a bunch of things that you can do to effectively cause some sort of action or thing to take place. The technology of changing oil would be step by step what actions need to take place in order to have the product of changed, clean, functional oil in engine. So when I say technology, we're learning a technology of how to assign, transfer, or redeem, or give someone else the ability to assign, transfer, or redeem a negotiable instrument. That would be the definition of the technology of endorsements. So you can ask yourself, am I assigning, transferring, or redeeming, or am I giving someone else the ability to transfer, assign, or redeem? That's it. That's the whole conversation. That's the whole technology. Okay? That's all we're learning here. Okay? This is the technology of endorsement, the technology of performance, the technology of payment. It means all the same thing. So we are learning how to do that, and that's all we're doing in these videos, which seems like not a lot, but it's infinite money, so it's kind of funny. I'm not totally sure on this one, but that's kind of what I get from it, what I just explained to you guys. Let's go to the next one. If the signature, the form of the signature does not show, I'm going to show you guys my chest, get all the girls turned on because I'm fucking burning up in this thing. I'm going to show my nipples too, just to get you guys fucking raring to go. The form of the signature does not show unambiguously that the signature is made in a representative capacity, or 2, the represented person is not identified in the instrument. The representative is liable. The form of the signature does not show unambiguously that the signature is made in a representative capacity. So if you wanted to be more specific, I guess, representative capacity, you could be like, by Brandon Joe Williams, comma, representative, which I do use this sometimes, for FOR. This would be the line below, not to the right, again. So meaning, like, I really want you guys to get this. I would hit enter here, and it would come down below. This is how the endorsement would look. By Brandon, and then it would start here, for blah, blah, blah. But I'm just doing this because I don't have any other quick way to do this for you. For plus, if you guys can't figure that out, you're brain dead anyway, so I don't care. So for Brandon Joe Williams, and then that would be, let's see, represented person. I mean, you could even go representative and then represented person. You could even do something like that. Representative on behalf of the represented person. I mean, I'm just trying to fucking, just totally pure, just like read this and understand it in the purest form. So forgive me if I'm a little bit off on this. Representative capacity, or 2, the represented person is not identified in the instrument. The representative is liable on the instrument to a holder in due course that took the instrument without notice that the representative was not intended to be liable on the instrument. With respect to any other person, the representative is liable on the instrument unless the representative proves that the original parties did not intend the representative to be liable on the instrument. Okay, this is cool. This is really useful in litigation. This is what I do all the time. The representative is liable on the instrument unless the representative proves that the original parties did not intend the representative to be liable on the instrument. When you clarify the all caps name, the ens legis versus the natural person, that's what you're doing, right? If a representative signs the name of the representative as drawer of a check without the indication of the representative status, and the check is payable from an account of the represented person who is identified on the check, the signer is not liable on the check if the signature is an authorized signature. So if you have a power of attorney on behalf of the all caps name, and you sign on behalf of the all caps name, and you do it like this, by Brandon Joe Williams, representative for Brandon Joe Williams, represented person, you don't have any liability on the check. That's what I get from this. You guys thought that, 1, 2, and 3 already made you into an invincible fucking T-2000 Terminator. Well, we're just going even farther. Even farther, brother. You guys think that you guys are invulnerable and you guys have infinite money and everything? Oh, we aren't even done yet, brother. This is just part 4. We're just getting started. Why do you think I'm so fucking confident? It just gets better and better and better and better, and you're at home complaining, or your friends are at home complaining about they can't pay their bills. Dude, it just gets better and better and better and better. Unauthorized signature, 3-403. Unless otherwise provided in this article or Article 4, an unauthorized signature is ineffective except as the signature of an unauthorized signer in favor of a person who in good faith pays the instrument or pays it for value or takes it for value. Apologize. An unauthorized signature may be ratified for all purposes if the signature of more than one person is required to constitute the authorized signature of an organization. The signature of the organization is unauthorized if one of the required signatures is lacking. Okay. The civil or criminal penalty liability of a person who makes an unauthorized signature is not affected by... this just seems like unauthorized signature. So if you don't have a power of attorney or like there's some reason why you're not able to pay, sign on behalf of somebody, then things happen. We're just going to speed through this. I'd rather not break this up into two sections for section 4. So we're just going to speed through this a little bit more speed on this. Okay. Imposters, fictitious payees. Payee is the person that the proceeds are supposed to go to. If an imposter, by use of the mails or otherwise, induces the issuer of an instrument to issue the instrument to the imposter or to the person acting in concert with the imposter by impersonating the payee of the instrument or a person authorized to act for the payee, an endorsement of the instrument by any person in the name of the payee is effective as the endorsement of the payee in favor of the person who, in good faith, pays the instrument. I mean, they're pretty much doing this to you because they use the all caps name and stuff like that. It's like an imposter or a fictitious payee, right? To some degree, sort of. A person whose intent determines to whom an instrument is payable. The person identified as payee of the instrument is a fictitious person. I mean, I don't even know what is a fictitious person. Non-existent people who, unlike fictional characters, have been claimed to actually exist. Well, that's a tough thing. A legal entity or artificial person. Yeah, this is a bit of a difficult one because okay. Not sure if you guys noticed, but over the past 5 days, thelawdictionary.org, if you click on it, it's completely fucking gone. The entire website has been deleted off of the face of the earth. Which to me is fucking hilarious. The bar cards are nervous, bro. They're pissing themselves. Bro. But check it out. If you go to Google, it's got everything on a cache or saved or whatever because it'll still pull up a lot of the definitions and stuff, even though that if you click on it, it's 404, bro. The pickle is stiff, bro. The pickle is stiff. Okay? Too many people, brusky. Too many people looking up too many words. It's too easy on Google. I'm not much for, shadow bans and this and that because, I don't ever experience any of that shit. I think a lot of people use that as a way to sort of rally the troops, quote unquote. But I'll tell you what, this is interesting. This is interesting. If we go to the Wayback Machine, and we go to thelawdictionary.org, and we take a little peek-a-roni. It looks like the Law Dictionary has been around with us since 2012. And if we go to, let's see, June 2nd, what do we got? Was it around on June 2nd? Yes, it was. We got Black's Law. Enter a legal term to start your search. Disclaimer. Popular legal terms. What's the word we're looking up right now? Legal definition of imposter. Let's see what happens. Pretty interesting. It was here. for over 10 years. And then now all of a sudden, recently. I mean, whatever. I mean, there could be real reasons. I'm not saying I have evidence to prove the fact that it's, but I'm telling you, it's just a fascinating situation. Fascinating. Fictitious person. Now you think to yourself like, oh, it's a fake ass shit that doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. No. It's a legal entity or artificial person, such as a corporation. Oh my God. So imposter is interesting. Fictitious payees. So fictitious payees means that the payment is to a corporation or trust or estate or partnership or company. Okay. Imposter, I don't know what that. It appears to mean what you think it means. And I look it up and it appears to look like it is what you think it is, but a person whose intent determines to whom an instrument is payable does not intend the person identified as payee to have any interest in the instrument. The person identified as payee of the instrument is a fictitious person. The following rules apply until the instrument is negotiated by special endorsement. Interesting. Okay. Any person in possession of the instrument is its holder. Okay. An endorsement by any person in the name of the payee stated in the instrument is effective as the endorsement of the payee in favor of a person who in good faith pays the instrument or takes it for value or for collection. It's interesting. The all caps name is a fictitious person, so it's just an interesting conversation here. An endorsement is made under in the name of the payee if it is made in a name substantially similar to that of the... Oh my God. Are you seeing this? An endorsement is made in the name of a payee if it is made in a name substantially similar to that of the payee. Oh my God. Bro, this is just... I can't even, bro. How do you even... That's the all caps name. That's the lower uppercase name and the all caps name. Two, the instrument, whether or not endorsed, is deposited in a depository bank or account in a name substantially similar to that of the payee. Oh my God. Oh, look at that. They've got their own little insurance policy between the upper and lowercase name and the all caps name. Wow, congratulations, boys. You guys thought of everything. This is brilliant. Look at this. Oh my God. So they're saying a fictitious name and imposter and all this, but then they've got the little insurance policy right here. Oh no, if the names sound the same, they look the same, and they're a little bit different. Oh, they're the same thing, and it's all good. It's all good, brother. It's all good. With respect to an instrument to which subsection A or B applies, a person paying the instrument, which means performance. I'm going to keep saying it. If a person paying the instrument or taking it for value or collection fails to exercise ordinary care in the paying or taking of the instrument, and that failure substantially contributes to loss, blah, 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 the person bearing the loss may recover from the person failing to exercise ordinary care to the extent of that. Okay, fine. What's ordinary care mean? Observance of reasonable commercial standards prevailing in the area where the person is located. With respect to the business in which the person is engaged, in the case of a bank that takes an instrument for processing or collection or payment by automated means, reasonable commercial standards do not require the bank to examine the instrument. Okay, fine, whatever. Just typical horseshit. Okay. I'm not sure all about this. You can look at it for yourself. We're going to start speeding through this. Like I said, employer's response. Ooh. Employer's responsibility for fraudulent endorsement by employee. What the fuck? In this section, employee means an independent contractor and employee. Wow. Nothing irritates me more, bro. If I'm in a court of law and I ask the definition of a word and they use that word in the definition of the word, I am literally going to go fucking ballistic. I am going to make that court's life a living hell. They're going to wish they were dead. I'm serious. You don't ever. That is rule number 1 in my book. If you ever use the word that I am asking you for the definition in the definition, I am going to lock onto you and I'm going to make your entire blood lineage pay. That sounds very vindictive and very vengeful, and I'm not a vengeful person, and I don't stand for violence. I'm a peaceful man, but I'm telling you, that's going to piss me off. Employee includes an independent contractor and employee. If this was a simple conversation and I just wanted to know the definition of employee, if I saw this, now I'm going to discipline you. We are going to talk about this so incessantly and for so long, and I'm going to ask you so many questions literally just to spite you. If you would just give me the definition, I wouldn't do that. I'd move on. Of an independent contractor retained by the employer. I don't know. It doesn't tell you. This is you guys think this is terrible. Oh, this is a terrible definition, and oh, that just means oh no. This is perfect. Because now you're going to ask 500,000 questions. And it's going to take 6 weeks to get through this definition. That's what it means. It means that the bar card on the other end of the table, his client is about ready to pay his bar card $39,000 in work. Because you're going to drag them both through the mud for 6 weeks trying to figure out what this means. Because as far as you're concerned, this is fraud. Using a word inside of the definition of the word is fraud. That's how you handle the situation. Number 2, fraudulent endorsement. Means 1, in the case of an endorsement payable to the employer, a forged endorsement purporting to be that of the employer, or 2, in the case of an instrument with respect to the employer is the issuer, a forged endorsement purporting to be that of the person. Okay, identified as payee. So that just means it means what it says it means pretty much. Responsibility. It's got to be this long convoluted thing. So with respect to instruments, it means authority to sign or endorse instruments on behalf of the employer, to process instruments received by the employer for bookkeeping purposes, for deposit to an account or to other disposition, to prepare or process instruments for issue in the name of the employer, to supply information determining the names or addresses of payees or instruments to be issued in the name of the employer, to control the disposition of instruments to be issued in the name of the employer, or to act with respect to instruments in a responsible capacity. Responsibility does not include authority, which merely allows an employee to have access to instruments or blank or incomplete instruments or incomplete instrument forms. 3-115 means a signed writing whether or not issued by the signer, contents of which, okay, so an unissued, which may be signed or unsigned. Okay. for the purpose of determining the rights and liabilities of a person who in good faith pays an instrument or takes it for value or collection, or for collection. If an employer entrusted an employee with a responsibility with respect to the instrument and the employee or person acting in concert with the employee makes a fraudulent endorsement of the instrument, the endorsement is effective as the endorsement of the person to whom the... Okay. So it's just talking about like if you endorse something on behalf of someone else, like does it get issued? Was that endorsement approved? Was it disapproved? Was it approved to be on there but was never approved to be issued? Like we're getting into more banking almost at this point. I don't really know. I'm trying to think of like examples of where these kinds of situations would be applicable. I don't really know. You know, you have a bank and the guy says, yeah, you can put the endorsement on there, but don't issue it yet. And then they issue it or vice versa or something. It's like it's just getting into the weeds in terms of that whole subject. Okay. So, an endorsement is made in the name of the person to whom the instrument is payable. If it is made under a name similar to the name of that person, the instrument, whether or not endorsed, is deposited. Okay, fine. So that just has to do with what it says. Employer's responsibility for fraudulent endorsement by an employee. It's kind of more specific. It's more of like an in the weeds kind of a situation. We're not going to get into that too much. You can read that. Negligence contributing to forward signature or alteration of the instrument. Again, we're kind of off into the weeds here. Let's see what we got. A person whose failure to exercise ordinary care substantially contributes to an alteration of an instrument or to the making of a forward signature on an instrument is precluded from asserting the alteration of the forgery against a person who in good faith. So what I get from this is if you're really sloppy and a dumbass, if some shit goes down and you're like really, really retarded and sloppy, then like maybe possibly like the instrument could still be negotiated, something like that. That's what I get from this, but I'm not gonna dig into every word here. This is not major 101 for us. This is a little bit more specific. If the person is asserting the preclusion fails to exercise ordinary care in paying or taking the instrument, and that failure substantially contributes to the loss. The loss is allocated between the person precluded and the person. Yeah, so it's just like we're spreading out the loss because you're a dumbass. Okay. The burden of proving failure to exercise ordinary care on the person, blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyways, this is not anything that most of my people are going to need to deal with. So 3-407, alteration. An unauthorized charge in an instrument that purports to modify in any respect the obligation of a party. 2, an unauthorized addition of words or numbers or other change to an incomplete instrument relating to the obligation of a party. An alteration frequently made discharges a party whose obligation is affected by the alteration unless the party assents or is precluded from asserting the alteration. No other alteration discharges a party and the instrument may be enforced according to its original terms. Okay, fine. This is not really what we're trying to look for in this videos. A payer bank or drawee paying a fraudulently altered instrument or a person taking it for value in good faith and without notice of the alteration may enforce rights with respect to the instrument. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit interesting. But overall, this is not really anything that we're going to need to deal with, so we're going to skip over that. 3-408, drawee not liable on unaccepted draft. A check or other draft does not of itself operate as an assignment of funds in the hands of the drawee available for its payment, and the drawee is not liable on the instrument until the drawee accepts it. Acceptance is defined as delivery. So let's just see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. Here we go. Acceptance of draft. Let's see if we're getting there. It looks like they're building it up. They're building it out. Here we go. Acceptance of draft, certified check. Acceptance means the drawees signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. It must be written on the draft and may consist of the drawee signature alone. What's the drawee again? Let's just real quick. The drawee is the person ordered in a draft to make payment. So fuck you, pay this by this date. Okay. So acceptance means the... Interesting. Okay. So a signature. Interesting. Okay. So acceptance means the drawee's signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. It must be written on the draft and may consist of the drawee's signature alone. Acceptance may be made at any time and becomes effective when the notification pursuant to instructions is given or the accepted draft is delivered. That's the word we're looking for the purpose of giving rights on the acceptance to any person. We're getting into some really good stuff here. This is the meat and potatoes right here. We need to focus on this. You see me skipping a lot of shit. This here, we are not going to skip this. This is extremely important for everything we're doing. So a draft may be accepted although it has not been signed by the drawer, is otherwise incomplete, is overdue, or has been dishonored. If a draft is payable at a fixed after sign and the acceptor fails to date the acceptance, the holder certified check just means, we already went over that earlier. As far as I'm concerned, it means a check that has a medallion signature guarantee on it. So let's see here. Acceptance means the drawee's signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. So if you already have let's say you have a credit card and you have an agreement at the beginning of the credit card and the agreement says a promise to pay, that would be the signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. And then from there, it must be written and it can be accepted even though it has not been signed by the drawer, which means the person who signed to make it, the person ordering payment. Yeah. Acceptance means the drawee's signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. It must be written on the draft. Signature. Let's go back to that. What is signature? A person is not liable on an instrument unless the person signed the instrument, blah, blah, blah. So what is signature? It may be made, the definition is made manually or by means of a device or a machine and by use of any name, including a trade or assumed name, or by a word, mark, or symbol executed or adopted by a person with present intention to authenticate a writing. This is pretty much the definition of signature right here. Any assumed name, trade name, word, mark, or symbol executed by a person with the intention to authenticate a writing. So means a drawee's signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. So in the case of a credit card, this would be like the signed agreement prior to all the transactions when you first signed up. It must be written on the draft and may consist of the drawee's signature alone. Drawee's signature alone. So this is what you see on the credit card transactions. If you go to a restaurant, they're going to have you sign the promissory note. So that's the drawee's signature alone. Acceptance may be made at any time. It becomes effective when notification pursuant to instructions is given. So is that why, like, it says in the credit card member agreement that, like, whether you sign it or not, it doesn't matter. It's still like a binding thing because acceptance may be made at any time and becomes effective when notification pursuant to instructions is given or when it's delivered. If you look in the card member agreement, it says, like, you promise to pay for the transactions even if you didn't sign for them or even if nobody signed for them and blah, 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 blah. So I'm just trying to think like that. That's kind of what this is here that we're looking at, acceptance. There was a previous signed agreement to pay the draft as presented, and then at that point, it can happen whether or not you did or not or something. I'm gonna change out of this outfit. I'm burning up. I'm dying. So just give me a minute. You guys can look at this, and I'll come back in just a minute. This is important. This is really important. We can't just skip over this. So we got to figure this out. Give me just a moment. Okay. Woo. That thing is hot. That thing is like beyond hot. That thing is like Siberian. Woo. That thing is hot, bro. Okay, so okay. Acceptance means the drawee signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. That's kind of like beforehand. It's the beginning. Like a credit card agreement. Okay. It must be written on the draft and consist of the drawee's signature alone. Acceptance may be made at any time and becomes effective when notification pursuant to instructions is given or the accepted draft is delivered. If you guys see, this is interesting. If you guys see this, look, if we go to the Bill of Exchange Act, you'll see acceptance means an acceptance completed by delivery or notification. And you see those words here. You see the word delivery, you see the word notification, and you see the word delivery. So we're looking at old shit, man. I'm telling you, you guys think this is all going to change and they're just going to shift everything and we're not going to be able to. No. It's old shit, bro. You're looking at this is a philosophy study. This is a study of history. This is old as fuck. And if you think it goes back only as far as the Bill of Exchange Act of 1882, I don't know. It could go back even to 1600s or I have no idea. I'm just showing you guys. They've plugged everything in. This is not just them making up shit. This is like every aspect of our history has been carefully plugged into these codes. Okay? You're the only one that's been left out of the loop. You and me. Okay? So they aren't just making this shit up and coming out of nowhere and pulling it out of their ass. This is old, bro. Old. I have it on a show a couple days ago. The guy was like, "Oh, this is Babylon. This is as old as Babylon." Yeah, well, it probably is. Okay? You know, if we had real money and gold and silver coins and we had some negotiable instruments and it wasn't the primary means of exchange, you got to think all this information would make sense. You wouldn't have any problem with all this information. If only, you know, a small percentage and this and that, and it wasn't everything, and it was just there was gold and silver coins, and then some people decided they wanted to go into all this goofiness. All this information applies to that. The problem is that because everything is a negotiable instrument, everywhere, every goddamn thing, everything, that's why this has become such an issue. Okay? I'm having a bit of a hard time really totally getting this one. I'm telling you, this is really, really important. So I'm going to try one more time and then we're going to move on. Acceptance of draft, certified check. Acceptance means the drawee signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. Okay, draft means... Well, draft means the same as the bill of exchange. I don't see it here. Let's see. Yeah, it's a note. An instrument is a note if it is a promise, and it's a draft if it's an order. Yeah, so it's a bill of exchange. Okay, fine. Easy. Easy peasy. Means a drawee signed agreement to pay a draft as presented. It must be written on the draft and may consist okay, may consist of the drawee signature alone. Okay. So let's just skip that because may kind of puts a possibility. Acceptance may be made at any time and becomes effective when notification pursuant to instructions is given or the accepted draft is delivered for the purpose of giving rights on the acceptance to any person. So it's sort of like when you send someone, when you tender and then you deliver the instrument, you're giving them the rights to enforce the instrument, right? They become the holder. Whoever you send it to, you're not the holder anymore. You've given that away to somebody else. So a draft may be accepted although it has not been signed by the drawer, is otherwise incomplete, is overdue, or has been dishonored. As long as there's a previous agreement that you guys are going to be sending shit back to each other, I feel like it's still the original definition that I always talk about, which is just delivered. Acceptance is delivered. But according to this, I feel like it's a little bit different because it has to have some previous agreement. I could be wrong on this, though. This is very important, but I'm just having a hard time navigating this, okay? Now, the thing is that you can have all the hard time navigating this that you want. If I have a hard time navigating this, bring it up in discovery in a lawsuit, and let's talk about it for 6 months. No big deal. We'll figure it all out. If you think I don't get it, I know for a fact they don't get it. Nobody gets it. So we're going to talk about 3-409. If they say, oh, no, we didn't accept it. Oh, dude, no problem, bro. No problem. Let's talk about this for fucking 2 months. Not an issue at all. Let's study the entire history of every fucking word in this. Or let's go and say, what is the equivalent? I don't know how to spell it, so fuck me. Of UCC 3-409 in California state law. Let's see what comes up. California Financial Code. Let's ask AI. ChatGPT is probably going to be better at this, but I'm going to ask. I don't have access to that. I don't really care that much. I'm going to ask Meta AI, what is the California state equivalent of UCC 3-409? California Commercial Code, Section 3419 is what I've been told here. Let's take a look and see if that's correct. California Commercial Code, Section 3419. California Commercial Code, Commercial Code, Section 3419. Interesting. It looks like it does look pretty. Liability of parties. We have sections 3401 through 3420. Is this what we were looking for? No, that does not look like what we're looking for. We're looking for 3419. But this is a great example. Like I told you at the beginning of this little mini course, people will tell you, California doesn't have the UCC. Retarded. It's all there. Okay? They're talking about without recourse. Look at this. Okay? It's all here. And actually, if you can't figure it out in the federal, it's actually good to look on the state because it might be worded in a different way where you can actually understand it. Okay? This is great. This gives you one more opportunity to try to understand this stuff. Okay? So let's see. We got California Commercial Code 3419. If an instrument is issued for value given for the benefit of a party to the instrument, accommodated party, and another party to the instrument, accommodation party, signs the instrument for the purpose of incurring liability. Let's see. Oh, we got a bunch of definitions here. That's cool. What's the definition of recourse? I saw recourse here. An arrangement in which a bank retains in form or in substance any credit risk or indirectly associated with an asset it is sold. Interesting. Interesting. All right, I'm not so sure on this. I'm not going to go into this any farther. But I can tell you this is important. This is very, very important. We've gone into this some. I recommend that if you would like to dig into something, a lot of the stuff I'm like, we don't need this. This is the heart of everything. If you want to spend some time going down this rabbit hole and figure out acceptance and figure out state acceptance and certified check and what all this means and really, really dig down this, I'm telling you right now, 3-409, this is a very, very lucrative rabbit hole. I can definitely tell you this is important. I'm not going to spend any more time on this. I'm not sure where to even go on this. I'm going to need to put this in the God knows, but highly, 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 highly important bin. And whenever this figures itself out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But this is going in the tippy top priority bin of I don't knows. But as soon as I do, this is it. This is hot. Hot, hot, hot. So check your state. Maybe it has some really cool, really simple language that clarifies this, and it'll just bust this whole thing wide open. Signature by representative. Someone signing on behalf. You're bound as if you are or would be if the signature was on a simple contract. Wait, did I? Oh, no. We've already gone past this. I was going to say I'm like already tired. Let's see. We're here. Acceptance varying draft. If the terms of a drawee's acceptance vary from the terms of the draft as presented, the holder may refuse the acceptance and treat the draft as dishonored. Okay. I think this is kind of like what they're trying to do all the time, but that's not really going to work. The terms of the draft are not varied by an acceptance to pay at a particular bank or place in the United States unless the acceptance states that the draft is to be paid only at that bank or place. Now you got to realize you can use all this shit on them. If they try to use this shit on you, what you're going to do in defense is you're going to every fucking word you want to know the definition. What is the definition of the? What is the definition of terms? What is the definition of? What is the definition of a? If they try to use any of this stuff on you, I've never seen any of the bar cars try to use any of this stuff on anybody. In fact, they won't talk about it if you put a goddamn shotgun in their mouth. I'm telling you, in the future, if they ever shift their position from being little bitches and avoiding everything and pretending as though they've got it all figured out when they're actually clinically retarded, if it ever changes and they start actually bringing this shit up, you want to... Every word you want to slam into them like Juggernaut from the X-Men. Bricks, walls, buildings, everything is getting torn apart. Every word. Sipping coffee. You want to know everything. In pain, if they say, oh, a draft is blah, 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 and they say something inside of their explanation that you do not understand, you say, oh, what does that mean? Stop right there. Not another fucking word. What is that word inside of the word of which you define the word draft? What does that mean I need to understand? That's what you're going to be doing. I'm just letting you know. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where I don't even know at these bar cards. Maybe they're all going to give up and lay on train tracks, and there's going to be a Jonestown a suicide pact, and they're all going to get together, and they're going to be in white robes, and they're going to drink the Kool-Aid, for all I know. I have no idea. But I'm telling you right now, if they do start to actually develop brain cells through evolution, which is a very low chance of that happening, they're going to start bringing this shit up. And if they do, that's what you're going to do. I'm telling you, here I am trying to read this stuff. There's certain areas that make sense to me, and there's certain areas that don't. You guys think that I'm a genius and you're stupid. That's not it at all. This is very convoluted and confusing on purpose to try to confuse you and try to get you to go away. And the thing is that the difference between a normal person and a Pickletarian is that we don't go away. We don't go away. We ask so many questions, and we never, ever, ever stop. We never stop. Ever. We ask questions until you literally hang yourself. That's what we do. That's our MO. Okay? So I'm telling you right now, if you're ever in a situation where they start to actually bring stuff up, you got to be like, wow. I'm telling you, the chances that they have any clue of any of the stuff that they're bringing up is like zero. You need to slam into them with like 480 trillion newtons of force. Okay? I'm telling you right now, they don't stand a chance. The terms of a draft are not verified by an acceptance to pay a particular... I don't know. And they don't either. And they're going to pretend like they do. They don't. You may not know, but your level of not know, I guarantee you, is 1,000 levels higher than what they don't know. I'm telling you. I promise. I promise you that. That I can promise you. Okay? If the holder assents to an acceptance varying the terms of a draft, the obligation of each drawer and endorser that does not express it, I don't know, is discharged. I don't know. I say again, we're just trying to go forward and do our thing and get the basic ideas, and then as it goes forward, let's say it falls into 3-410, and they bring it up. Now, if you're in a lawsuit and they bring up 3-410, now you're in a situation where you're going to need to like really, really hammer this thing. But as of right now, if I had to say, oh, should you spend time trying to understand 3-410, or should you spend time trying to figure out 3- what was the one we were talking about earlier where I was like, oh, it's so important. You need to learn this. Acceptance of draft, verified check. This is where you should be spending your time trying to figure out. Not this. So, again, we don't know everything about everything, but we know enough to know where our focus should be and where we should really slam into people. Okay? And I'm sorry I don't have all the answers for you. You guys think I'm fucking perfect. You guys think I know everything under the sun, moon, and stars, and I don't. Okay? So I'm human. I am a man. I'm this, I'm that. You guys think you could never understand things as well as I can. Well, that's just not true. And that's just an excuse. I don't know what to tell you. I've been looking at this shit for 2 years, nonstop, and I don't know. If you take the time and you look at every goddamn word and you clear up every goddamn word in every goddamn dictionary, you're going to be able to figure this out. But do I want to do that right now on this particular point? No. Do I want to do that on the last one? 3-409, I kind of do, but we're not going to do that. But I kind of do. This is so important, I can tell. But we're not going to do that. If you wanted to do that, that's going to be good. I'll probably do that at some point. We're going to move on. 3-411, refusal to pay cashier's checks, teller's checks, and certified checks. This does not look like something that we're going to get into. I don't see any point in getting into this. We're not going to get into this. Obligation of issuer of note or cashier's check. The issuer of a note or cashier's check out of the draft drawn on the drawer is obligated to pay the instrument according to its terms at the time it is issued. If not issued at the time it first came into possession of a holder, or if the issuer signed an incomplete instrument according to its terms when completed to the extent stated in blah, blah, the obligation is owed to a person entitled to enforce the instrument or to an endorser who paid the instrument. Okay. I mean, if someone sends you an unconditional order to pay, you're obligated to pay under the terms. And that's it, really. I mean, it's not that fucking complicated. I don't know where all this other stuff would apply, so I can't tell you. Obligation of acceptor. Maybe we're going to get more information here of what I was saying was so important earlier. The acceptor of a draft is obligated to pay the draft, 1, according to its terms at the time it was accepted, even though the acceptance states that the draft is payable as originally drawn for or equivalent terms. 2, if the acceptance varies the terms of the draft according to the terms of the draft as varied. Or 3, if the acceptance is of a draft that is an incomplete instrument, blah, blah, I don't really care about that. The obligation is owed to a person entitled to enforce the draft or to the drawer or an endorser who paid the draft. Okay. If the certification of a check or other acceptance of a draft states the amount certified or accepted, the obligation of the acceptor is that amount. If 1, the certification or acceptance does not state an amount, or 2, the amount of the instrument is subsequently raised, and 3, the instrument is then negotiated to a holder in due course, the obligation of the acceptor is the amount of the instrument at the time it was taken by the holder. You know, this whole thing, I mean, I'm not really like getting too into the weeds on this. I'm just kind of looking all the time for like, is acceptance delivery? And I'm starting to, as far as I can tell on this, acceptance is delivery. That's what I'm seeing. I could be wrong. Maybe that's changed. I mean, I'm just, you know, let's keep going. Obligation of drawer. Drawer is the person who orders. This section does not apply to cashier's checks or other drafts drawn on the drawer. It's so funny. Again, like I said before, look in your state codes, type in to you know, artificial intelligence, type in what is the equivalent of 3-414 for state of Oklahoma or whatever. Just, this is all, no one understands any of this. I mean, we are so far. Look at this. What is the definition? And I know I'm going to get all the fucking conspiracy theorists going ballistic right now. It's okay. Of a cult. No. Check this out. Watch this. This is my favorite etymology website. This is just some, like, one guy. Literally, you can look it up. I know I've talked about him before, but, like, I you have no idea, bro. Like, this guy is like the king, dude. Like, he's literally the fucking king. And who did this about section? Look at this. I've been using this shit every day of my life. He says 10 years ago. I'm pretty sure I've been using this for more than 10 years. Maybe not. This dude is the king. He's the fucking king, bro. I don't know the guy's name. I don't know. I thought about when I win my first lawsuit, I'm probably going to give him like $5 million fucking dollars. We're going to type in occult and you're going to see, okay? Secret, not divulged. Hidden, concealed, secret. Cover over, conceal. To hide over. To cover, conceal, save. Not apprehended by the mind beyond the range of understanding. To keep secret, conceal. If you look at the dates on this, it's all around the same time period, 1530s, and then all the way back to 1500, which is only a very short period of time. Okay, we're going to go down. So there you go. It's, in my opinion, the occult is the way of hiding information in plain sight. They publish everything. Here we are, 3-414. No one knows how any of this works or anything at all. It is the occult, but it's also not the occult. It's literally hiding in plain sight. That is what we're looking at. Okay? If it was hidden, we couldn't even find the information. But here we are. Now think about this. You say like, oh, no one can understand this. Okay, fine, whatever. You can go through every fucking word of this and clear up every fucking word in every fucking dictionary. Or even better, when you sue them or when you counterclaim them and you go into discovery, that's the conversation you want to have. Oh, 3-414. Okay. Interesting. Why don't we talk about the definition of every single word, or on the state side, they pull up some state statute. We're going to talk about every single word of this state statute for the next 4 fucking months. You call it the occult, you call it hidden. It ain't hidden to me, bro. I know you don't know. I know you're a dumb fuck. I know I'm looking at it. I don't get it. I know you don't fucking get it. We're talking about it. We're talking about it for 4 months. And if you try to do anything to throw me off, understanding if unaccepted draft is I want to talk about is. Let's talk about is. For a month. A month! The occult. I will chase you. I will chase down your entire family. I will find you. I will sue you over and over and over. I will sue you from a jail fucking cell to find out what definition of is are you using. I will chase you for Ever! Do you understand that? Your great-grandchildren will need to deal with me chasing them and leaning all of their property to find out what is the definition that great-grandfather was trying to use when he used the word is when suing me. I want you guys to understand where I'm at. I want you guys to understand where this is going. They use the word is. They assume the definition of the word is, or dishonored, or unaccepted, or draft. They need to define it. So yes, you don't understand all this. I don't understand all this either. And I'm trying my best to understand this with you guys. And I'm trying my best to fucking talk about this with you guys, but it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. You're over here probably thinking like fucking, oh, I'm so nervous and this and that and what is this and what is that. But it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter because you think you don't get it and you think they do. They don't get it. They don't understand. They have no fucking clue. They have no fucking clue. These people have no fucking clue. They have bar cards. They're gone. They've been gone for a long time. They have no idea. If they have a bar card, you can assume they have no idea. And you'll be right 99.94% of the time. Excuse me, do you have a bar card? Yes, I do. Oh, great. Fantastic. This is going to be easy. Okay? Try to fucking confuse me. Just try. Please. Please try to confuse me. Please give me 800 pages of paper full of words. Because you're going to be answering every fucking word. Every single fucking word. And if I don't understand, I'm going to stop you. If it takes 30 fucking years, that's what we're going to do. That is what's required. If an accepted draft is dishonored, the drawer is obligated to pay the draft, 1, according to its terms at the time it was issued, or, if not issued, at the time it first came into possession of a holder. Or 2, if the drawer signed an incomplete... I don't know, bro. I don't know. And I literally dare you. I fucking dare you to use this on me. Please. Please. I beg of you. Use this on me. Reference this in one of my lawsuits. Countersue me and list this on the fucking lawsuit. I will hire a private investigator to follow you. And I will ask you for every fucking definition of every word. And I want the entire history. We're going to talk about it incessantly. And I'm going to publish. And I'm going to take, if I find out through my private investigator that you are going off and fucking children or fucking whatever, or doing whatever, or cheating on your wife or whatever, I am going to publish that information on every single avenue I can possibly do. I'm going to travel around and I'm going to do PR releases on every minor detail of your life of which I feel that you are incomplete or unstable on. I am going to be your nightmare. I am going to be what you dream of when you sleep. I'm going to be what you think of when you awaken. I'm going to be what you think of. Every time you see your wife, you're going to think of me. Every time you see your children, you're going to think of me. Every single time you try to do anything, and you are going to pretend as though it's not me, as though I don't affect you negatively or whatever. And the thing is, I do! And I know I do, and I sleep well because I do. And I want to be abundantly clear about that. If a draft is accepted by a bank, the drawer is discharged regardless of whether, of when or by whom acceptance was obtained. If a draft is, I don't know. I don't think this is terribly important. If a draft is accepted and the acceptor is not a bank, the obligation of the drawer to pay the draft. If the draft is dishonored, I don't know. If a draft states that it is drawn without recourse or otherwise disclaims liability of the drawer to pay the draft, the drawer is not liable under subsection B to pay the draft if the draft is not a check. We already know that. If a check is not presented for payment or given to a depository bank for collection within 30 days, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Obligation of endorser. This is probably more along the lines of what we should be reading. Let's take a look at this one. If an instrument is dishonored, an endorser is obligated to pay the amount due on the instrument according to the terms of the instrument at the time it was endorsed, or if the endorser endorsed an incomplete instrument according to... Okay. So them telling you that we don't accept this payment or that's not a payment, blah, 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 that's not endorsing the payment. I was just talking to my client today about this. Look, let's come to me for a minute. If I send you a payment, if I attempt to, I have a bunch of really cool old Civil War notes, okay? So if I attempt to send you a Civil War note and I tender, which means to unconditionally offer, and it gets, as far as I can tell, delivered, which we just looked at that and it was kind of confusing. Let's say delivery is, look, I'm going to tell you delivery is fucking acceptance, and then if you want to fucking fight it, you fucking fight it. You fucking show me shit, and I'm going to hammer every goddamn word you fucking send me until the end of fucking time. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, delivery is acceptance. It makes the most sense to me. Okay, so I deliver this. I unconditionally present this to you, or unconditionally offer this to you. You accept it, which is tender. So let's see here. And if you dishonor this, now if you receive this and you go like, oh no, this is dishonored. Okay. Now the way I look at that is this. In good faith, I wrote the negotiable instrument. I sent it. You signed for it. You received it. Now I'm innocent until proven guilty. You're the one asserting a claim. Now, whoever asserts the claim is the one that has to prove the claim. So like you say to yourself, oh, they told me that, the payment is on. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, in a court of law, they need to They need to fucking prove that, not you. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I'm telling you, as far as I'm concerned, that's the way it actually works. You've done your duty. You've done this. You've done that. You've sent it. It's been some time. And now all of a sudden out of the blue, oh no, this is horseshit. Oh, wow. So you're saying it's dishonored. What evidence that you have, or what evidence are you pointing towards that makes this particular negotiable instrument dishonored? Make them prove it. That's what I would do. I haven't gotten to that point because no one will fucking talk to me about anything or my complaints or anything, as far as I'm concerned, because they're terrified. Or stupid and terrified. You guys think you're all fucking stupid and terrified? They're 10 times worse, bro. I'm telling you. They're 10 times worse. Look at all my fucking cases and you will see proof that they are 10 times worse. They will not talk about any of this information because they are terrified of this information. They are weak, pathetic fucking souls. They have no clue what abundance could possibly feel like. And they live their life in a desperate, horrific, shell of what it's supposed to be like to live on this planet. If they want to talk to you and they don't know, they're fucked. And they're getting paid their $10,000 or $20,000 to fucking do whatever and blah, blah, blah. They're selling their soul for $10,000. Imagine being a person who has a personal reality of their own soul and it's only $10,000. Just imagine. Just imagine. Just imagine feeling that your soul is only worth 10,000 Federal Reserve notes. Just imagine. Just imagine. With all the inflation and everything happening, 10,000 Federal Reserve notes. You can barely even buy a running vehicle for 10,000 Federal Reserve notes. These people have zero self-esteem. They have zero self-respect. Imagine. Imagine selling your soul for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 Federal Reserve notes, promissory notes, negotiable notes. Imagine the amount of self-loathing you must experience on a day-to-day basis. Imagine the amount of imagine the level of enjoyment of day-to-day life. Imagine the inability to enjoy the laughter in a playground. It's tough to be in a playground full of children or animals, maybe a dog park, and not experience some level of enjoyment. These people who sell their soul for 20 or 30 or 40, they can't even connect with that. The idea of a dog park or a bunch of kids playing in they can't even, the happiness is unattainable. So you're over here saying like, oh, F these people and this and that. You don't need to. There's no revenge needed. There's no revenge needed. What do you need revenge on? What is there? The fact that they fucking breathe is revenge. What is there? What vengeance do you need? They don't enjoy anything. They don't understand anything. They walk through life. You say, oh, NPC, and people need to wake up. These are the people who are real NPCs. NPC is an overused, trite term. when someone is unable to enjoy the smell of flowers, the smell of their car, the smile of their wife, the look of their children, what revenge do you need? Why? Like what? I just don't. What do you? I mean, I'm almost in tears just talking about this. What are you gonna do? Like, what are you? Like their life is shit. Their life is shit. There's nothing you're gonna do. They're not even gonna understand anything you would do. There's no. What's the why? Why are you even if you beat them half to death physically with a baseball bat, they're going to be laying there. They're not going to understand why or how, or there's going to be no connection. They have no ability to connect the dots. It's like beating a dog half to death. Afterward, the dog's just going to be angry and start biting people and not know why and just be untrusting of humanity. There's no connection. There's no fucking connection. You think that these people have this facility of intelligence and they can connect everything together and they have so much emotional depth, and they don't. They have no emotional depth. They have no ability to connect the dots, and that's why they do the shit they do. That's why they do it. They don't know. They can't piece anything together. They're selfish. They're alone. They're terrified. You are attempting to interact with a person who has no depth to their existence. You're wasting your time. It is a fucking waste. You're wasting your time with your family, you're wasting your time with these people, and you're wasting your time with your friends, quote unquote. You're wasting your time. (3-415) Obligation of endorser. If an instrument is dishonored, an endorser is obligated to pay the amount due on the instrument. 1, according to the terms of the instrument at the time it was endorsed. 2, if the endorser endorsed an incomplete instrument. Okay, so if it's dishonored, you have to pay for it. But they have to prove it's dishonored. That's the thing. They're going to need to fucking really work. You're going to make them work as fucking hard as fuck to get them to prove that it's fucking, if an endorsement states that it is made without recourse or otherwise disclaims liability of the endorser, the endorser is not liable. So if you claim without recourse, as we've been talking, you will never need to defend your position. None of this is an issue. You're all good. You can go off with your fucking free house and your free car and your free this and your free that and live your life, live the best goddamn life anyone's ever fucking seen in their entire existence. Okay? If a notice of dishonor of an instrument is required by blank and notice of dishonor complying with that section is not given to an endorser, the liability of that endorser is discharged. So if they don't tell you through a notice, then you're good, basically. If a draft is accepted by a bank after an endorsement is made, the liability of the endorser under blank is discharged. If an endorser of a check is liable under subsection A and the check is not presented for payment or given to depository bank. Okay. Whatever. Transfer warranties. Oh, God. A person who transfers an instrument for consideration warrants to the transferee, and the transfer is by endorsement to any subsequent transferee that the warrantor is a person entitled to enforce the instrument. All signatures on the instrument are. So this is a lot of like. So they're sort of building this up, right? They're saying this, that, and that there's a certified a signature or a false signature. So now they're like, okay, we've talked about all this stuff and all these various things. And now we're getting into like a larger view of the overall situation, showing that, this thing gets transferred if, and then now they're going through and they're sort of like summarizing everything. Hasn't been altered. It's authentic. It's not subject to claim or recoupment against the warrantor and like blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't know. Warrants to the transferee, like gives permission to, or gives, the warrantor is the person entitled to enforce. Yeah, it makes sense. So they're using a new term now to try to be more complicated, just to say the ability to control or order or whatever, which just means the person entitled to enforce, or the holder. It's still person entitled to enforce or holder is still going to be the main aspects. Don't let them throw you off. Don't let them throw you off the fucking path. And holder versus person entitled to enforce is also very similar. So don't think that, oh God, there's two terms. No, it's actually very simple. There's just pretty much just one idea here, to a most degree. It's not entirely, but at this point, you understand what I'm talking about on part 4. The instrument has not been altered. The instrument is not blah blah, the this and that, and the fucking they're made, and who took the instrument in good faith may recover from the warrantor and damages, blah, blah, yeah. So it's we're looking at a lot of the same thing we've already seen, just said in a different way. That one's more of like an overall summary of a lot of things we've been learning so far. If an unaccepted draft is presented to the drawee for payment or acceptance, and the drawee pays or accepts the draft, the person obtaining payment or acceptance at the time of presentment and a previous transferor of the draft at the time of transfer warrant to the drawee making payment or accepting the draft. Presentment warranties. The warrantor is or was at the time of warranty transfer draft authorized to obtain payment, blah, blah, blah. So it's again, we're looking at a lot of the same stuff, an overall summary of various things that can go wrong for transferring. What is a warrantor in financial transactions? It's giving me guarantor. Is guarantor the same thing as warrantor? Maybe. Possibly. Is a person or entity that assumes a financial obligation of another party. So it's the person who has financial responsibility. Could that be the definition of warrantor? It very well could be. Let's ask AI real quick. What is a warrantor when it comes to negotiable instruments? Question mark. A warrantor in the context of negotiable instruments refers to an individual who makes certain implied warranties when transferring an instrument for consideration. 1, that they are entitled to enforce the instrument. 2, that the signatures on the instrument are authentic and authorized. 3, that the instrument has not been altered. 4, that the instrument is not subject to defense or claim. 5, that they have no knowledge of any insolvency proceedings. Okay. If that's true, then the warrantor is someone who basically just basically swears under penalty of perjury, or swears to the fact that these various aspects that would make an instrument non-negotiable are untrue, and that the various aspects that make it negotiable would be true. What is the legal definition of warranties when it comes to financial transactions? The legal definition of warranties when it comes to financial transactions is a promise or guarantee made by a seller about the characteristics or quality of property, goods, or services. Warranties in financial transactions are statements made by one party that the other party relies on when entering the contract, and a breach of warranty gives the injured party claim for debt. Okay. So it's a promise that if the promise is broken or untrue, they can sue on. Okay, that makes sense. It's like an insurance. It's like a verbal insurance policy. Okay. Breach of warranty equal to, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so if I promise you that blah, blah, then the bad things can happen, blah, blah. That makes sense. Whoa, what's happening here? That makes sense. Okay, I'm tracking. Warranty, warrantor states, blah, blah, you're promising things, blah, blah. So don't promise shit you can't deliver. Don't promise shit that's not true. And if you do, bad things are going to happen. That's basically what I'm seeing here. We're going to skip on because we don't have a whole lot more. We're going to get all this done in one video, which is beyond what I thought. Payment or acceptance by mistake. I'm running out of steam here, guys. I apologize. If someone receives a thing and it's by mistake, then the person, if they receive it in good faith, can maybe negotiate the instrument, possibly. I don't know. Something. You guys can look at this. I'm running out of steam here, guys. I apologize. So this is interesting. If an instrument is issued for value, given the benefit of a party to the instrument, that's the accommodated party, and another party to the instrument, accommodation party, signs the instrument for the purpose of incurring liability. This is what they're always trying to do with you. This is the all caps versus the upper and lowercase name. The all caps is the accommodated party, and then you is the natural person, I guess you could say, is the accommodation party. You're the one incurring liability of the instrument without being a direct beneficiary of the value given. This is actually very important. This is what they're doing. An accommodation party may sign the instrument as maker, drawer, acceptor, or endorser, and so they're talking about the all caps name. The upper and lowercase, the natural person may sign the thing as all these different things, and subject to blah is obligated to pay the instrument. So you're the one signing it. You're the one who's responsible for it. Okay. A person signing an instrument is presumed to be in a combination party. And there is notice that the instrument is signed for a combination if the signature is or is accompanied, we're not going to get into that, or is accompanied by words indicating that the signer is acting as surety or guarantor. So you've heard a lot of this, like you're signing on as the surety on behalf of the all caps name, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is the evidence that is what's occurring. And if anybody asks in a court of law, this is what you're going to show them, right? And we're going to talk about this for fucking 9 years in a court of law. The beauty of being pro se is that you don't need to pay by hour for a fucking bar card. You're in there to win it. It could be 9,000 hours. You're gonna fucking. It could be goddamn fucking Bill Clinton, and you're gonna be in there sucking him dry through his fucking bar card. His bar card's gonna be the happiest guy in the world sucking him dry. You're gonna be making fucking. I heard down the grapevine, I think it was from Joey Kimbrough, I heard down the grapevine that fucking Donald Trump in this whole New York case and everything else, he spent $50 million on bar cards and legal fees. You know how much I'm going to spend on bar cards and legal fees if you sue me? $0.00. I mean, the only real expense I'm going to have is blowing your shit up and creating PR releases on everything. I'll fucking pay God knows how many magazines and whatever, and I'll blow this shit up to the point where everyone and their mother's talking about it. I'll pay a PR firm or whatever. I don't care. I got tons of cash and nowhere to put it. And nothing to lose. I'm just waiting for someone to sue me. God, I can't fucking wait. Jesus, fuck. If the signature of a party of a fucking blank, I don't know. I'm starting to lose a lot of steam here, guys. I apologize. I'm really kind of getting tapped. I think I'm gonna. Oh, we got one more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bow out on this one. I'm bowing out. I'm done. Conversion of instrument. Conversion of instrument, 420. It's good for you guys, 420. The law applicable to conversion of personal property applies to instruments. Blah, blah, blah. This feels kind of important, even though I don't really know what it says. There's a part of me that's kind of like, oh, you should focus on this one. The negotiation from a person or bank makes or obtains payment with respect to the instrument for the purposes not entitled to. An action for conversion of an instrument may not be brought. Maybe not. Anyways, yeah, I'm out of steam, guys. I am out of gas. So, okay, it's dark here. The sun's down. I'm done. I'll see you guys on part 5. Later.